and welcome to my presentation on teaching subtraction in Key Stage 2. In this presentation, we'll take a look at the various methods and approaches that we use to help children understand subtraction in deeper, more meaningful ways. From traditional column method to more hands-on strategies such as using a place value chart, we'll explore how these tools can make subtraction more engaging and accessible for every student. Subtraction is finding the difference between two numbers. It answers how many more are left or how many more questions. This operation is fundamental to mathematical thinking and problem solving. It is important that children in Key Stage 2 become fluent with their subtraction skills, as there are so many real-world applications, including working with time and money. In Year 3 and 4, we aim to teach children to subtract mentally up to 3 digits, to use column method up to 3 digits, and to solve multi-step problems. In Year 5 and 6, we aim to develop these skills by moving up to more significant numbers, working in the thousands, tens of thousands, and higher. We also work with decimals up to 3 decimal places. In Year 3 and 4, the children begin to develop their understanding by revisiting place value and subtracting ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. The place value chart can be helpful as a physical manipulative, as the children can remove their counters. When looking at the calculation 5,378 take away 200, we can take 2 counters from the hundreds column to make the new total. Once the children have mastered these skills, we move on to column method without exchanges. To subtract without exchanges using the formal written column method, align the numbers by their place value, ensuring that each digit is in the correct column. Start from the rightmost column and subtract each digit. When aligning the numbers in their columns, it's crucial to make sure that the larger value is on top. You can't take away 2 from 1. Working from the ones column in this example, you can see that 2 subtract 1 is 1, 1 take away nothing is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 1 less than 3 is 2. We use all of these terms to describe subtraction, so it's important that the children become fluent with each of them. When subtracting using column method where there are exchanges, you follow the same process, but now we're going to introduce carrying. In this example, starting again in the ones column, we can see that 2 take away 2 gives us 0. There's nothing left over, so we don't need to exchange. However, we can't take 9 tens away from 1 10, so we need to exchange for one set of hundreds. We cross out the 7 in the hundreds column and record it as a 6, as we're essentially going to take one set of 100 and give it to the 110 to top it up, making it 11 tens. Now we can do 11 subtract 9, which gives us 2. 6 subtract 4 gives us 2 in the hundreds column, and finally 4 take away 3 leaves us with 1,000 and a total of 1,220. In Key Stage 2, estimating answers using rounding involves rounding numbers to the nearest 10, 100 or other place value to make calculations simpler. For example, rounding 57 to 60 or 432 to 400 helps to give a quick estimate of the result. This method is useful for checking if an answer is reasonable or for making rough calculations when the exact answers aren't necessary. We teach estimation as an important skill as it's widely used when undertaking everyday activities such as shopping. You can see an example of the sort of question a child in upper Key Stage 2 might be asked to solve, demonstrating a real-life application. In Key Stage 2, using inverse operations helps to check if a calculation is correct by performing the opposite operation. For example, after adding 2 numbers, you can subtract them to verify the result, or after multiplying, you could divide them to check your work. This method ensures accuracy and helps students understand the relationship between operations, such as addition and subtraction or multiplication and division. In the example given here, I would check my calculation by adding 5,122 to 3,142. If the answer is 8,264, then I know the calculation is correct. If I get a different answer, I know I need to go back and have another look. Finally, we teach children to apply their learning to multi step issues that they are more likely to encounter in the real world. Putting these into contexts that the children are familiar with, such as telling the time or using money, supports their understanding and encourages the use of subtraction in a practical way. Even though modern phones may have tools such as a calculator, it's crucial that the children know how to subtract. And here is an example of the sort of question that a child higher up in Key Stage 2 might encounter. We would expect the child to be able to estimate a rough answer by using rounding, to use the inverse to check their answer, and to achieve the answer by using a column method. Thank you for taking the time to watch my webinar. I hope it's proved useful in supporting the teaching of subtraction to Key Stage 2 children.